Hi everyone, Bernard here with another Citizen vlog, a little bit of a special one today. It's a city past, but it's more city present as well, but obviously we're looking back a few years and it's a moments in time really, but obviously as I'm recording this I've just actually seen a certain player pull on the famous City shirt for the last time and make a brief appearance. Unfortunately it would have been better with a longer appearance, but of course this becomes a City Legends in time, isn't it? And this is just a small tribute from me, Bernard, at Citizen Vlogs to the latest football. I mean, he's a legend already, but obviously officially put him in there as the to join the Manchester City legend status. I'm sure he'll have some sort of mosaic put up at the ground or on the training ground, a pitch named after him or whatever. He should have the whole stadium named after him, but there's probably too many of those at the moment, isn't there? Yeah, and this City legend in time, we're going to look at the wonderful, of course, he's behind me, isn't he, on the wall. That's a great poster we'll talk about when that came out later on in this little vlog. Well, it might be a little bit longer, but bear with me, there's a few things to get through on this. So I was going to put it into two parts, but I thought you can always stop it, can't you, and watch the rest of it if it's too much in one go. Yeah, City legend David Silva. We're going to look at his arrival actually, and not really talk about his whole career, but just his arrival and that his first season highlights with City, just to cut it down a little bit. This could be a part. This could be like the Manchester City history. It could go on forever that I'm doing at the moment, but you know, yeah, we're just going to concentrate on that. Yeah, so please, if you're new to this Citizen channel and you like it, please tell your friends, your City supporting friends. I'll try and be a little bit different on this channel to what's already out there, and try and entertain and inform as well. And please, as and when I'm doing this, all the facts I've sort of come up with are correct. If I've said anything wrong, please bear with me. But I do try and get as much knowledge as you can. But like anything in researching these things, sometimes things aren't quite right when you're looking at certain organs of history of various things. Right, please push that subscribe button, push the bell notifications on these little vlogs are coming out. That'll be absolutely fantastic. Right, let's get on with it. David Josue Jimenez Silva. I'll probably pronounce that wrong straight away. Born 8th of January 1986. He was born in Gran Canaria, the Canary Islands. His father, Fernando, is Spanish, he's Canarian, while his mother, Eva, is of Japanese descent. Originally played as a goalkeeper. I mean, he's a bit small for a goalkeeper. Perhaps he didn't sort of grow from a certain age. But yeah, originally he's supposed to have played as a goalkeeper before coming a winger. He became a winger and mirrored his game around his footballing idol at the time, which was Michael Laudrup. At 14, he received an offer to become a youth player at Valencia CF, which he accepted, and he stayed in Valencia's youth setup until he was 17. He had a couple of loan periods away from Valencia and then, but his next major thing obviously was when he joined City. So I was going to say it's sort of one man. And he did say he was going back to Valencia, but recent rumours are that he's been going to Lazio. Although there's been a bit of controversy over that as I'm recording this. As you're watching this, it may have all been settled anyway. But yeah, I thought he was going to go and play for his boyhood club, Valencia, but there you go. These things, people change, don't they? And perhaps agents change players' minds sometimes. Anyway, on the 30th of June 2010, Manchester City announced that they had reached an agreement with Valencia over the transfer of Silva, and he would join the club prior to the start of the 2010-11 season. On the 14th of July, we completed the signing, and Silva was awarded the number 21 shirt, the same number he wore for Valencia and when playing for Spain. City had previously tried to sign Silva and his teammate David Villa in 2008, but were put off, and Valencia quoted 135 million combined price tag on both players. And if you ask most City fans at the time, we would have probably preferred David Villa, wouldn't we? I mean, I think he was the guy we all wanted, wasn't it, at the time? Not particularly anything wrong with David, but obviously we didn't really know what he was going to be, did we? Let's be honest about it. Hindsight is a wonderful thing. Peter Ferguson, writing for the Manchester City magazine, July 2010 issue, obviously wrote a few things about David, so I'm just going to quote from that article, words by Peter Ferguson. David Silva feel at home straight away at the City of Manchester Stadium. The Blues' latest star signing conjured the winning goal on his previous visit. I didn't go to that one, I must admit. The Spanish international's happy memories of his new home ground after scoring the Champions League outfit Valencia in a pre-season opener against City in 2007. Of course, that Thomas Cook competition. With such a happy memory to recall, the 24-year-old attacking midfielder is a perfect recruit for manager Roberto Mancini as his team prepare to begin their challenge for silverware in the coming months. Silva has long been a fixture in Spain's team and first came to the attention of the national team when he finished joint top scorer with 4 goals in the 2005 FIFA World Youth Championships, helping his country to reach the quarter-finals. He made his senior debut in November 2006. He scored his first goals in the 3-2 win over Greece in 2007 and played a key role in Spain's 2008 European Championship success, including a semi-final goal against Russia. At club level, Silva has been a shining light wherever he's played. So he went on to say, Silva expressed his delight at securing his move to City, saying, "Firstly, I would like to thank Valencia, all of their loyal fans, my teammates and club. I enjoyed 6 years there. They discovered me as a footballer and will always be a special club for me. The time is right for me to seek a new challenge. I am thrilled about playing in England with Manchester City. I believe the Premier League is one of the best competitions in the world. I want to bring success to City and win trophies for them." So there you go. That was sort of Silva commenting on his arrival in Manchester at the Etihad Stadium. That was thanks to Peter Ferguson. He was only to play a small part in Spain's World Cup win, wasn't he, in 2010? I think he had a sub-appearance. He probably had a couple of appearances during it, but he was a sort of bit part player, so it was not too much we could see from watching him, obviously, from afar to see if this guy was any good. But he arrived at City, obviously, with a World Cup winner's medal and a European Championship medal in Spain in his back pocket, which was really good, wasn't it? There's an image of him there in the City squad there early in the season anyway, quite a big squad. Things never changed, did they? He made his Premier League debut on the 14th of August 2010 in an unexciting, uninspired 0-0 draw against Tottenham at White Hart Lane. It wasn't his greatest game, but at least we got a point there, didn't we? He made his European bow in the Europa League playoff games versus FC Timisoara of Romania in 1-0 and 2-0 wins. There's some images there for you to look at. And he scored his first goal for the club on the 16th of September. 8 minutes into the Europa League group match against Red Bull Salzburg. Yeah, that Red Bull, they get everywhere, don't they? A 2-0 win with just 798 City fans officially in attendance. Were you one of those? Or I sadly wasn't, but you one of those to see that. There's an image of the team there, that awkward stance where they set up for the team images, and they look very awkward standing like that, don't they? The positivity in Silva was highlighted in an article in the City programme for the Chelsea game on the 25th of September that season, with some words from players and the manager himself. So reading from that, Silva improving with every game. So looking from the magazine, Nigel de Jong called him fantastically talented and Vincent Kompany labelled him amazing, but still David Silva had his doubters. Too lightweight, not strong enough, unsuited to the Premier League, yelled critics obscenely, quick to jump on the back of a World Cup winner who arrived for a big money in the summer. Not so, insisted everyone inside the Blues camp, with the kind of careful consideration that often present in those quick to cast out. What everyone at the club knew, of course, was that the mesmeric playmaker would be granted time to settle and to find his feet in a foreign country. He needed time to learn how his new ways and a new language. Detractors also failed to notice that with the World Cup and 2 trips to the other side of the planet, Silva had no pre-season to speak at City. The star quality so evident in 24-year-old Silva's play at Valencia and with Spain burst into City's life at Salzburg in the Europa Cup and boosted confidence of a first goal for the Blues. He was in fine form again at Wigan last week, and yeah, there's some images of the Wigan game there. Any criticism of Dave was unfair because we all know the quality he has, and Gareth Barry echoing the words of teammates de Jong and company, he was always going to take time to settle because he's come into the Premier League from a completely different type of football. Yeah, just for good measure, obviously they played Wigan, and his fellow Spaniard Roberto Martinez, one of our pain in the sides, isn't he? The man at the wrong end of Silva's scheming at the DW in that instance, in that game, backed his countrymen to the hilt. He said, "He is supremely talented," reckoned the Latics boss. "He's just a great footballer with a great brain, and he will be a special player for City. It will take him a while to adapt and understand the differences before he can thrive in the Premier League, but he looks happy and his body language was fantastic. His confidence is up and that is a big thing because it helps you to make the right decisions on the pitch. So there you go. Yeah, David commenting, David, I can call him David, yeah, I can call him David if I want sometimes. Can't say David commenting. He did say about Spain, he said, in the Spanish team we have three main attributes of a winning team. We are good technically, quick, but also strong. I'm confident I can be a success in English football. I have said all along that I just need time. Remember, I only came to the club at the start of the last month after the World Cup. I then had to go to Mexico and Argentina, and that made it hard for me to settle. But slowly and bit by bit, as time goes by, I feel more and more at home. I will be better. So there you go. That was David talking about himself. David talking about himself. Then, I mean, on the 17th of October, well, it wasn't too long to wait, was it? He scored his very first league goal for City as well in a game, very famous game, very famous goal. I mean, we've seen a lot of it this season as well, against Blackpool, netting the third in a 3-2 away win. In that time, there's a few more City fans in attendance to witness it. There was 2,242. Again, I wasn't in one of them, were you one of them in attendance? Silva turning the game when he came on in the 65th minute. So he didn't even start the game. He came as a sub and turned the game. Gareth Barry commented in the matchday programme against Lech Poznan on the 21st of October 2010. Gareth Barry has hailed the game-changing cameo performance from David Silva that swung last Sunday's visit to the Lancashire Coast cities away. The fleet-footed Spanish World Cup winner sat on the bench until deep into the second half, but when he did get the chance he grasped it with both hands, setting up Carlos Tevez' opening goal and then grabbing one himself with a sublime piece of skill that bamboozled the Seasiders' defence. So yeah, he was complimentary about it. Silva's introduction, they went on to say, Silva's introduction seemed to kickstart City, and on reflection, Barry could see how the Spaniard's arrival helped skipper Carlos Tevez unlock the home defence. As soon as we feed him, Carlos seemed to come up with the goods. When David came on, it changed the shape a little bit and gave Carlos a bit more licence to go through the middle. He got his 2 goals and could have had a few more maybe. So yeah, he's making his, David's making his presence felt, isn't he? And obviously his teammates, as you can see from the earlier article, that article from Gareth Barry, were sort of singing his praises, because as I say, he was taking a little bit of time to settle, but he earned 3 consecutive Manchester City Player of the Month awards from October to December 2010. So the fans were also taking to him, weren't they? And obviously taken for a match programme the 10th of November against our old enemy, United. He's got a headed. Silva hits his stride. David Silva admits that it's taken him longer than he wanted to make an impact at Manchester City. The gifted 24-year-old has become more influential over recent weeks, and his deception of Wolves' Richard Stearman led to a penalty that would have put City on the way to victory at Molineux. It was not to be on that occasion, but other moments as the season have grown longer, such as the wonderful goal at Bloomfield Road, show what the World Cup winner is now up to speed with the demands of the Barclays Premier League. Looking at comparisons with La Liga, David said the Spanish league is quite strong. There are some quite physical sides there as well. On that side of things, it's not too different, but where it does vary is speed of the game. Coming off the back of a World Cup because Spain got to the final, I was involved until the very last stages, so I didn't have the full pre-season by any means. Robert Mancini commented, obviously as a manager, he was happy with his acquisition. He's a long-term admirer of Silva. He commented, ever since he had a big hand in Valencia knocking Inter Milan out of the Champions League in 2007, he's admired him. The City manager's brought his own approach to training with him from Italy, but Silva feels it has helped him gradually adapt to his new surroundings. To be fair, training here does not differ too much from what I've been used to. We can often have 2 games a week now, so training is all about recuperation and getting ready for the next game. We tend to have more time preparing for the next game rather than having heavy-duty training sessions once the season gets underway. The manager knows my qualities very well. He's the guy that signed me. He knows the strengths of my game, which is getting close to goal, creating chances for my teammates and having a crack at goal myself. So yeah, there's a bit more positivity, wasn't there, coming about with that. By New Year 2011, obviously he'd won those 3 Player of the Year awards, October, November, December. But obviously it was reflected in there was a little article again in the Manchester City programme, which was from the Saturday, New Year's Day 2011, Saturday the 1st of January 2011. The supporters obviously were happy by voting him as their player of the month. And what Katie says, a fan from the South Stand, lifelong blue, Katie Jones, used to have a little piece in the match programme. And she actually did a little thing on David Silva. And she went on to say, this is obviously a fan's point of view, one of my personal highlights of the first half of this season has been the input given by new boy David Silva. The silky skilled Spanish winger has injected real life into the team and has become one of those players we all look to, wondering what he can pull out of the bag next. When he first arrived at the club, I admit I thought he would be too lightweight and would struggle with the rough and tumble of the Premier League. However, he has well and truly proven me wrong, and I couldn't be happier about it, and I know a lot of you Blues are exactly the same. And who can forget his first league goal? He scored an amazing individual effort away at Bloomfield Road against today's visitors, which showed strength and skill, finishing of pure quality. Our Silva is pure gold, and we fans predict he has all it takes to gain cult status and be remembered alongside a name like King Clancy. Well, I think he went on to. I think he's sort of gone on to surpass King Clancy, hasn't he? I think that's. Fair enough to say as far as David Silva's concerned. Yeah, I mean, on the 12th of February, he did score for us against our old enemy, but unfortunately it was a 2-1 defeat at Old Trafford, thanks to the famous Shinned Rooney effort near the end. But yeah, that was, again, he's obviously going to sort of instill his love from City fans if you score against United at any time. Again, he still hasn't scored a league goal at the Etihad, had he? And his first goal at the Etihad was in the FA Cup, actually, second if you count the 2007 Valencia one, but it was a 3-0 FA Cup win on the 2nd of March over Aston Villa. Just a crowd of 25,570. It's not the biggest crowd again to witness his goal. He's not getting many City fans witnessing these goals. But it didn't have long to wait for City fans, a lot more City fans, 44,864 of them, in which I and my lad were included. Didn't have long to wait to watch his first league Etihad goal, which came 3 days after the Villa game on the 5th of March. The only goal in a 1-0 win over Wigan Athletic. Of course, that sort of season, we always like big posters, don't we? And that's the big poster there. And I put some images of the cover on there and some facts about David at City come. That obviously came out in the Spurs game on the 10th of May 2011. And of course, you can't really pass this season by, can you, without his looking at his contribution to bringing silverware to City for the first time in 35 years in the FA Cup, and of course qualification for the Champions League, which is very, very important. The FA Cup was not his most influential game. Yeah, I don't think City were fantastic against Stoke. They did all right. They certainly deserved to win the game, but obviously David played okay. He was sort of average score. He didn't do anything fantastic. Got some images there, and you can see obviously the parade after and the thing back at the Etihad with the presentation of the trophy. I mean, he enjoyed the parade as much as anyone. We can see his shyer side. You can see, and we've seen it obviously since he's been with us, hasn't he? For the 10 years or so he's been with us. He doesn't court exposure in any sort of way, and he's a quiet lad. And some of the images you've seen on screen today sort of show that. You know, he's sort of always on the outskirts on the edge of things sometimes, and he is a very shy lad. Doesn't mean he's not happy, and obviously we know he's been happy. What Katie did, obviously at the end of the season, that Tottenham game, obviously City fans had a vote for the favourite player of the season, and it was only Vincent Kompany, another City legend, who actually beat David Silva. So there's an image of the top 5 there, but so it was only Vincent who actually superseded our David on scores. Before we finish, just a couple of independent views on David's first season with us. Mike Wally obviously was writing for the Manchester Evening News at the time, and he just sort of rated David Silva his season 8 out of 10. And he went on to say, it's always been obvious Silva has class to burn, but he has proved he can produce in the physical atmosphere of the Premier League this season. His first goal for the club at Blackpool in October summed up his quality, a sumptuous curl shot into the corner beyond a hapless defence. Silva was king of the assists at Eastlands over last season. Perhaps next term we'll see him score a few more too. Yeah, I mean, obviously he got a bit, you know, at times he was quite prolific, and at other times he wasn't, was he? He was very as a goal scorer. So yeah, Mike sort of predicted sort of what we were going to see, perhaps in and out over the next few seasons off David. Of course, that's a journalist point of view. What about, obviously, as a fan's perspective? You know me, I always look at the King of the Kippax and see what they're coming up with. And of course, I've done that for Burfield's class of 2011 when I reflected back in the King of the Kippax fanzine on David Silva's season with us, and just quoting from the magazine. David Silva, and to think I thought he might prove too physically and mentally frail for this league. Yeah, you weren't alone there, mate. I couldn't have gotten it more wrong if I went out with my pants on my head and my hat on my something else. If David does a bit of work on his shooting and indeed his willingness to shoot, and indeed then we are going to have one of the world's top 10 midfielders on our hands. A truly fantastic footballer with beautiful touch and vision, and crucially also willing to put a foot in. Well, yeah, I think I'm not sure how many bookings he had in his career, but he's always willing to do that, wasn't he, our David? Yeah, so as we come to the end of this little tribute, so hope you enjoyed it. I mean, Silva leaves us with I was hoping to add to this as we're recording to this, but I recorded this after the Champions League exit. So I was hoping to add to this, but he leaves us with trophies as well as our gratitude. 4 Premier League titles, 2 FA Cups and 5 League Cups. We can only thank El Mago as he leaves us at City. David or David, I've been switching from one to the other all of this, because he'll always be David to me, but obviously he's David as well. But I'm an old guy, I can never know what to call him. But I could call him El Mago. I mean, that's easy, isn't it? We all thank him and wish him and his family all the luck in the future, and sure he'll come back, and we will welcome him back in the future, whatever capacity he would wish to return. It is sad we couldn't have won the biggest club prize with him. Hopefully he'll be back to witness us doing that in the future. But nonetheless, what a great career, what a great servant to Manchester City, what a great bloke. That's all you can say, isn't it? And also, let's never forget, he scored the 5th goal at Old Trafford. I think there's a song in there somewhere, but I'm not going to upset you by singing that. And of course, we'll leave the final words to David himself. His comment recently that's been shown on various media sites. I arrived here having just won the World Cup. It was a changing country, league, language, but I soon settled in. I have always tried to do my best, to always behave well and work very hard too. I hope that people have enjoyed my football for all these years. I love the City fans. They made me feel so special. I will always be one of them. Get a bit emotional. I'm not going to edit that. I'll leave that in. I'm not going to do it again. And I'm just going to leave that where it is, because I think that's how we feel, isn't it? We always love you, David. Thank you very much. David Silva, a Manchester City legend. Thanks for watching. Till we meet again on a Citizen vlog, City past or present. Please stay safe, Blues. I'll see you all again very soon. Bye-bye.